You're f***ing cowards. You're sitting there in a corner just going, thank God it's him and not me. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to get in trouble.
Shame on you. You are pathetic and gross.
Alfie Brown apologizes for using the N-word 7 times in resurfaced routine.
A white? I mean, yeah, because we couldn't work that out from the fucking picture, you moron.
Yeah, it was white though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Stand-up clubs in the capital are now under pressure to deplatform Alfie Brown, with one venue already refunding tickets for his show on Saturday. Now, guys, at this point, Anton, hide this for a second. It is very important to remind you, there is no cancel culture. It doesn't exist. Anyone who says there's a problem with free speech and comedy is lying, and we live in a beautiful, wonderful, tolerant society.
It was recorded in 2015, and years ago, I realized my mistake and made every attempt to remove it. Not because I was scared of it being found, although I was absolutely terrified of it being found, but because it was wrong.
Yeah, of course, Alfie. What do you think about this, mate?
I think it's absolutely disgraceful. I think it's, when you do that, when you do a routine with that word, it's a comedic equivalent of an atomic bomb. You best
an
be...
atomic bomb?
Bum, yeah, an atomic
What's
bum.
an atomic bomb?
It's a tramp who's falling in.
Uncle Vlad, come in and shove special rocket up your behind.
Yeah.
To show you how to be a real man.
Tramp who's falling in a nuclear reactor. No, right? It's an atomic bomb. You best be sure to know what you're doing. Otherwise, if it goes off, things are going to turn very ugly very, very quickly.
You got to be... if you're going to use that word in the modern environment, you better have a fucking killer routine behind it.
Yeah.
Alfie didn't, to be fair. It was 8 years ago. And look, the point we always make is, in order to get a killer routine, it sometimes takes years of working on it. And the only way you can work on it is to say it in front of other people. And that means that at some point, what will eventually become a killer routine will not be a killer routine. It will be quite shit.
Yeah.
Right. So in order for a comedian to work through a routine involving that sort of word, sometimes they're going to say it in a way that's not that funny. I didn't think it was particularly funny in this instance. But why are you trying to cancel this guy? 8 years. It's not like he's running around doing that now.
No. And here's the worst part, right? The way that these comedians have piled in on him. Comedians. These are people who you would think free speech and the ability to express oneself without censorship should be important to them. These are the people who are basically driving this.
And you see, this is what comedians don't understand. And I know a lot of those comedy ninjas watch our show, so this is for them. What they've done to Alfie now is they've gone through every podcast he's been on, every routine he's ever published, every joke he's ever told. And what they found is he made a joke about being a pedophile, as every comedian has done at some point. He made a joke about something else, right? They've gone through his back catalog and they've basically dug up everything that can be made to look offensive out of context. And if comedians don't band together and don't defend people's rights to make a joke and not be successful with it, to make a shit joke, to say something offensive, all that will happen is, one by one, every single one of you is going to find yourself in this position. And one of Alfie's best mates in comedy, who we're not going to name, who's got quite a successful podcast, etc. He won't come out and say anything because he himself nearly got cancelled for making a joke about disabled people, right? And went on a fucking course. And they're all pussies. You're all pussies. None of you are speaking up for this guy, right? Even though he's on the right side of politics and whatever, because you're a bunch of pussies. And you will be next. This is the point that comedians don't understand. It doesn't matter how woke you are. You have told a joke at some point. The joke that is going to cancel your career is out there somewhere. And if you continue to pander to all these woke pricks in the comedy industry and pretend that there's no cancel culture and pretend there's no censorship in comedy and pretend that comedy in Britain is this bastion of free speech and you can say and do whatever you want, you're all going to get fucking canceled. You're never going to be woke enough for these people.
They will all come for you. It doesn't matter how nice you are, what you say, how you say it.
And watch what happens to Alfie now. He was one of you. He was woke. He was cool. He was, fitting in with all of you. And look at the way you are behaving towards him now. You're fucking cowards. You're sitting there in a corner just going, thank God it's him and not me. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to get in trouble. And when they come for you, that is exactly what all the other comedians are going to do. All those people you think are your friends, they're not your fucking friends. The moment someone comes for you, they're all going to hide just like you're hiding now because you're all a bunch of pussies. Man up and actually do the material you want to do. create things that give you independence from the comedy circuit, because they will destroy you just like they're going to destroy Alfie now.
And also stand up for your friends. Have a little bit of integrity and stand up for people if you like them and you think that they've done nothing wrong. But you won't
You're
do
talking
that.
to comedians, man. That's never
Yeah,
gonna happen.
but you won't do that because your career is far more important to you. Getting on a TV show that's watched by 6 people is far more important to you than having a sense of integrity. That's why when we went on Rogan and I said what I said, and you all piled in on us and you said that I was a racist and white supremacist, people who were actually meant to be my friends were liking these tweets. Even though you knew it was bullshit, even though you know that I'm not a racist, but you still did it because you wanted to look good, because you wanted to virtue signal. Well, here's the thing. You're next.
It's all right. You can all come on Trigonometry one day when you get cancelled.
Exactly. Maybe then you might actually get some followers. It just goes to show, actually, that we were right. We were right. And we were gaslit from the moment we started this. Oh, you're this, you're that. You know, your audience is far right. Blah, 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 blah. And look at you now. You're trapped on a sinking ship, surrounded by the rats that you've surrounded yourself with.
Yep. Who can't wait to stand by while you get cancelled in the public eye.
Yeah, because then it might be an opportunity to get on Mock the Twat. Oh, sorry, that's been cancelled.
And Mash Report. Oh, sorry, that's been Frankie Boyle's new one. Oh, that's been cancelled.
So what you got left?
What are you going to do?
Oh, let's go and play up the creek like I used to on the weekends. Oh, no, you can't do that because you said a joke 8 years ago. See, that's cancelled. And I'm going to tell you something right now. All those comedy clubs as well that are just embrace this ideology and capitulate, they're going to be the next ones to go because nobody wants to fucking watch that shit. And the worst ones, and I'm telling you right now, right, it's not Nabils and all those other people who've come out. I mean, they are what they are, and I'm not even going to say the word, right? It's the white liberals. They're the ones who are the absolute worst. They're the worst ones out of all of them.
They're not liberal.
They're not liberal.
They're wokies.
They're wokies.
Big difference.
And it's not even that you're woke. If you want to be woke, fair enough. Have your political opinion. Have your way of looking at the world. That isn't the problem. The problem is that you jump on board and you celebrate a person's career being destroyed. I know Alfie. He's actually a good bloke. He's a nice guy. And he's been toiling at the comedy coalface since he was 18 years old. He's 35 now. He's making headway. He's selling out some tours in like 100-seater rooms. He's been on TV.
To be fair to him, he's going to sell out some tours again. It'll be a very different type of audience.
Yeah, you're coming on the Trigonometry tour, Alfie.
Especially comedians. You understand how jokes work. You understand how writing jokes work. You know that no bit of material comes out of you fully formed. You know that when 8 years ago, the sensitivities around race were not what they are now. It was very common for people back then to be playing with these sort of things for comedic purposes, right? For comedians to stay silent when this is happening to a mate of theirs, you're just fucking cowards. You're absolute cowards.
And you take a perverted thrill and delight in...
Some of them do. I think most of them are just scared.
The ones that are engaged in this actively,
yeah.
They're taking a perverted thrill and delight at the destruction of your colleague's career. Shame on you. You are pathetic and gross.
Alfie Brown, welcome to Trigonometry. All right, let's catch up on the super chats. But fucking hell, mate, we were slagging comedians off for so long. I completely lost track of time. But it's an enjoyable thing.
Oh, mate.